Okay, in this we haven't done a video in a while, so I'm just gonna be giving my thoughts on Bitcoin and a few stocks, or the stock market as a whole, where I feel we are. So starting off with Bitcoin, this is the weekly chart. As you can see, we had you could call it an accumulation around the 30k zone. Um, Obviously we've had the big rebound. If we search up Bitcoin on the news, all we see is positive news, which in itself is a bearish factor, as the media is usually wrong, and the big hedge funds and investment banks are the people that own these media campaigns and are in charge of putting out all this fake news. Because 3-4 months ago, when this huge crash happened, all we were hearing was 20k Bitcoin, 10k Bitcoin, Bitcoin's done. Now it's back to positive. So what I see from here is just a simple structure of what could happen. Okay, so we've been making higher lows and higher highs. Then we got a break of structure. Now what I'm expecting is for price to head to make a lower high and make a lower low. So if I show this on the actual chart, so we've been getting lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. Then we had this break of structure to break, what is it? Where's my line? We broke this minor structure. We broke this structure, this minor structure here. Then we broke this major structure, and then finally this major structure, which confirms that we are 100% bearish. So from there we can, with high probability, predict what the market is going to do next. As you can see, I've marked out a weekly order block. So price is just coming to mitigate sell orders from this area. If we get a break past, if we break 60k, then there is a possibility of continuing this bull run, but I very much doubt it. So what I'm expecting is for price to head into this 50k to 60k region. I've narrowed down my area of interest to this hourly order block right here, as this is the last bullish impulse before all this crash down. As you can see, I mean, there's two areas I'd be looking to short from. This area here, so 53,500 to 55k, as this was the last bit of bullishness before we had this massive collapse to the downside. However, this is the original order block that led to all this big move. So yes, we'll have sell limits around these two areas. But yeah, it's not looking too good for Bitcoin, and obviously altcoins will most likely follow if we do get any type of big collapse. As you can see, XRP at the moment is flying, VeChain flying. Other than that, most other coins are down for today. If we move on to the stock market, I posted on TradingView and Twitter what I thought of this huge distribution schematic that's going on. If we Google Wyckoff distribution, where's the schematic? Where is it? There. As you can see, this is a way in which smart money actually distributes its buy positions to not cause huge selling pressure, to slowly phase out and sell their stocks slowly. So as you can see, they began their selling pressure during the COVID crash last year. Another bit of selling, more buying, selling, and now, as you can see, I mean, it's clearly obvious that if we get a, if we get where's the arc thing? The curve. You can clearly see how it's starting the the buying. As you can see, if you look, we've made higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Now the higher highs are starting to get very close to each other, which indicates that buying pressure is depleting, which is definitely not a good sign for Apple anyway. But Apple being a huge part of other indexes means that we could be in for a market crash soon, whether it's a 15% retracement or the start of what I believe will be a Great Depression in the next 10 years. On the S&P 500, we're still very bullish. I would definitely not recommend shorting this until we get clear signs. For me, I believe the big day that will shock everyone is when the Fed decides to taper, but there's no sign of that yet until labour markets continue to grow, as what's that guy called? The chairman of the Fed said. So they're going to continue asset purchasing for the time being. Until that taper comes, markets will probably continue to the upside. But when that does come, it will be a huge shock to the stock market, and we could see some huge downside for most markets. And we'd see the dollar strengthen, as tapering leads is a form of quantitative tightening and reducing the money supply. So yes, until that happens, I would not short any stocks. I will look to short Bitcoin once we do get to our areas of interest, being 53,000 and 56,000. Other than that, that's it from Bitcoin and Apple. Yeah, I mean gold, I'll be posting a video on that soon. We made a nice little trade after some heavy losses in July. But other than that, yes, let's see what happens. Peace.